Hello and welcome, or welcome back. This is Summer with another video on Evony. Last week, I upgraded my keep from level 40 to level 41. And as you probably know, this is one of those upgrades where the resource cost is huge. But for many players, the speed ups can be a bigger pain. Now, you can't really do anything about the resources, but when it comes to speed ups, there's actually a lot you can optimize. In my case, I managed to save about 6,500 days of speed ups in total, and that's without spending, just by stacking everything properly and using a bit of help from my server. So I thought it might be helpful to walk you through exactly where those savings came from step by step. Let's start with the numbers. When I began the upgrade, my construction time was almost 22,000 days. And just for context, the base construction time for K41 is a bit more than 100,000 days. So everything comes down to how much construction speed you can stack. My baseline construction speed was about 366%, and that came from all the usual sources: research, duty general, beast seals, coronation fountain, and other permanent buffs you build over time. Now, the first big chunk of savings comes from temporary buffs that you should always stack before starting any construction. In my case, this included the crown, civilization treasure, the Celtic dragon's third talent, and this Fort Frost decoration that you can get from top 5 ranking rewards in Arctic Barbarian and treasure hunt events. Together, these added another 107% construction speed. And just from this step alone, the construction time drops significantly. For me, these added up to 4,000 days. Now, on top of that, there's an additional method that depends on your server. After stacking all of this, I was still looking at a 17,600 day construction time. But thanks to the coiners on our server, I was able to reduce it by another 2,400 days. And the method is actually very simple. European gold subordinate cities. Each of these adds 15% to your construction speed. And when you stack multiple of them, the effect becomes very noticeable. On our server, we have more than 10 of these subsidies shared for the whole server to use, as long as it is only used temporarily and released after the constructions are done. So, what I do is, first I bookmark all of my own subsidies to make sure I don't lose them. Then I drop them temporarily, and I take as many of these gold subs as I can, start the construction, and then immediately switch back to my original subs. The whole process takes just a couple of minutes, but it saves thousands of days. Before doing this, you need to make sure you won't lose any subordinate city slots when you drop them. Your subsidy capacity depends on your rank, and if your rank drops, your capacity can decrease. The game won't remove the subs you already have, so you might end up in a situation like having 9 out of 8. But if you then abandon one, you won't be able to take a new one until you're back within your capacity. We also have a similar setup with American Gold subs for high level research. Of course, and this only works if your server is reasonably peaceful and coordinated, which is interesting because right now our server went into a bubble or burn situation and this doesn't hold anymore. On more chaotic servers or in situations like these, people will just grab these subs and keep them. But generally, with some communication or enforcement, this system works quite smoothly. You'll still occasionally get someone who thinks they just got lucky finding a gold sub, but overall it's manageable. So why would coiners give these away? The reason is that these subs are basically useless 95% of the time. They don't provide troop buffs, so they just take up sub slots. By sharing them, coiners aren't really losing anything, but they're helping the rest of the server grow faster. And that benefits everyone, I think, by helping the server grow a little bit faster. On new servers, you might need to wait until players accumulate enough gold subs and historic cities to make this possible. But even if you can't do this server wide, sharing them with competent active players can already be quite useful for the server. That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what it's like in your server. Do you already have something like this in place, or do you think it would work there? See you in the future.